Okie dokie. In this problem, they ask us to determine the values of m and b for this linear function. Now, this does not look linear, but the idea is we are supposed to expand everything and then simplify everything to get it in the form of mx plus b. And once we have that, we can identify m and b. So, let's get started. I would recommend distributing this 2 first. That's probably a good first step. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times negative 6x is minus 12x. And then we still have minus 7x over 2 plus 3 over 2. So what do we need to gather? We need to identify the x terms versus the constant terms, right? So we're going to combine like terms, and that will lead us to an mx plus b end point. I don't know. You get the idea. So negative 12x minus 7 over 2x, or 7x over 2. So we want to think about this as what is negative 12 minus 7 over 2, right? We want to combine those coefficients. So you could do this in a calculator. You could try to do it by hand by converting 12 into a fraction with a denominator of 2. I might just recommend using a calculator, and you'll get a decimal, but I think that's probably still just easier. So negative 12 minus 7 divided by 2. If you just type that into a calculator, okay, you'll get negative 15.5. And then both those had the x, so we're going to just tack on the x. So I did negative 12 minus 7 divided by 2 to get negative 15.5. Now, for the blue terms here, I guess I could have kept that color-coded, huh? Let's go back. Let's call this negative 15.5. And then we'll use blue for the constants. So 8 plus 3 over 2. If we do 8 plus 3 over 2 in a calculator, we would get 9.5. Okay, so we are looking for this answer, but yes, of course, they got all the fractions there, right? So if you wanted to, you could test out these to see which one matches 9.5, and then test out these to see which one matches negative 15.5. I might just, I'm trying to decide if I'm regretting not dealing with fractions or not. Anyway, let's just test out the b value. So like if you do 13 divided by 2, I'll just kind of talk through each of these. 13 divided by 2 should give you 6.5. That does not match 9.5, so we can eliminate option A right away just based on that. 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, right? 18 divided by 2 is 9. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, and that matches 9.5, so that's a good sign. So we can eliminate any of the 13 over 2s, but we're definitely between B and D now. So then I would just go with the only negative option for the m values here. If we look at this one, it's negative 31 over 2 versus this m value of 17 over 2. If we think about negative 31 over 2, if we type that into a calculator, negative 31 divided by 2, we would in fact get 15.5, which is equal to, you know, our m value that we got. Hope that makes sense. A little rough around the edges. I'm kind of just freestyling here. But I hope that makes sense. That's all there is to it. Let's do one more example. All right, got a glimpse of the answer there. Doesn't change what we're about to do. Let's distribute the 3. We get negative 21x minus 15. And then we keep the plus 3x over 2 plus the 6. We'll do a little underline for the x terms. We'll do a little box for the constants. Let's go ahead and combine the constants. Negative 15 plus 6 would take us, I guess, like towards 0, like not further into the negatives, but towards 0, towards the positives, right? So negative 15 plus 6 would be negative 9. And then with our x terms, let's do our x terms next. Let's try the method where we convert negative 21 into a fraction, accommodating the 3 over 2, right? So if we multiply 21 by 2, we get negative 42, or negative 21 by 2, we get negative 42, and then we just have that over 2. So negative 42 divided by 2 is negative 21. But now we have it in a form where we can easily add these two x values together, right? So negative 42 plus 3 is negative 39. And we leave that over 2, and we leave the x, and we leave the minus 9, and we should be done. So we're looking for a negative 39 over 2 and a negative 9 for m and b respectively. Did that one a little bit quick, but I hope that made a little bit of sense. I gave you kind of two-ish methods to do that, kind of with the fraction method and with the decimal method, whichever you prefer. You know, you should be able to get it done, calculator or not. If you have any questions, though, please let me know. All right.